What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Kinstretch class brought to you by Stretch Effects. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's 25-minute wrist, ankles, fingers, and toes focus Kinstretch class. So today's going to be a little bit different, as normally we focus on one joint, or even one specific motion of the joint, say shoulder flexion. Today we're going to be really just looking at the often under-trained joints in the body, which include fingers and toes, and then ankles and wrists. So we're just going to be going right into cars. We'll be doing some rotations for the toes, rotations for the fingers, and then we'll be doing here. Close the fist, lock the shoulders in, elbows right on the ribs. I'm going to go fist inside my fist towards the midline of my body. I will flex my wrist, I will come out, extend. Do activities that require here. You can go there or just here. I'm going to draw 3 clockwise rotations. Go back the other way, 3 counterclockwise. The key here is to keep the rest of the hand flat, nothing else moves. Every time I come up over the top, just like this, I'm coming as high up as I possibly can. So just 3, and just move right over the next finger. So if you want to, again, one over here, spread them out. Spread those fingers, spread up. The rest of the hand stays down. My index finger is up, and I'm just doing 3 clockwise, and then I'll do 3 counterclockwise. Every time I come up, I'm coming up in as high into active range as I can. Step down. Middle finger. This is one. The rest of your fingers might want to raise up a little bit. Keep that palm down. And now we are doing 3 clockwise over the top. You may realize you don't have as much active finger extension as you once thought. That's why we're doing it. Here, let's do the toughest one. Ring finger. Most people probably have the least amount of control here. Active range, 5 as I can, 3, reverse. It's burning more than you expected it to. That's a good thing. It means we need it, but it also means that we're actually using muscles, right? We don't think about muscle in the hands. We do the rest of the body, but we need them just like anything else. Last one, hold the rest of the hand down, pinky up. 3 clockwise, 3 counterclockwise. Very good. Think of them as individual finger cards, right? Next one, left hand, hands flat. Thumb comes up as high as we can, and we'll do 3. That goes counterclockwise, and now we're 3 clockwise. Keeping the rest of the hand flat, and switch index finger. And again, you can be a collapsed kneeling if you want to go in kind of a shin lock position, whatever's most comfortable for you. You can be seated at your desk, seated at your kitchen table, whatever works. Here, I'm going to do 3 counterclockwise, and reverse every time, coming up as high up in my active range as I can, and over and down, no finger. You may find just like your hips and shoulders, one hand has a little bit more dexterity from the hand. I know I grew up playing sports left-handed my whole life, so my left hand has a little bit more extension. I use it for throwing activities. Ring finger, hold your hand down. Middle finger wants to come up there. Let's go here. Ring finger is one of the toughest usually. It likes to act in conjunction with the middle finger. Last one, pinky, come up as high as you can. And I will do 3 counterclockwise. Pinky, jump around a little more, right? So you may notice, just like hips, ankles, everything that we do, some joints are a little bit more fluid in rotation, some get a little choppy, right? So just like your finger, you got 10 different fingers, you're gonna have 10 different capacities of motion, right? So just because one finger moves well, doesn't move the rest of your hand as well. So great place to start your day if you're doing a lot of stuff, typing, all those type of things. Just kind of warm up the fingers. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for your hands, good for your wrists, everything like that. So we go into our ankles. So some ankle cars. So we're gonna do them from the seated position with my yoga block. You can go yoga block out front, for just kind of rest your leg on, or you can go one foot on its side, rest your calf, and now we're here. So either one works, as long as you are, let me use your block, it's easier. As long as you are holding that leg still, right? So you want to lock the leg out. If I lock my knee out, I'm not going to be able to rotate my tibia, if that's just the way the body works. However, when the leg is locked out, your femur and hip are going to want to rotate to help with that rotation. So if this is your first time doing it, or the first few times doing it, definitely hold your leg. You can hold from the knee, you can hold from the thigh. Make sure the leg stays still so you can really isolate the ankle. If you've done it a lot and you have good control, you know you're not going to rotate. Maybe you go one hand, or then you can kind of be quote unquote lazy and then lean back here. Not lazy, of course. If you're doing Kinstretch, you are definitely not lazy. However, it is kind of an easier way out. I just like to hold, sit up tall, I'm going to point my toe to start, and then I'm just going to rotate in, feel the stretch on the outside of that ankle, come up, over the top, I'll rotate out, and down. We got 3 reps here. Imagine you got like a magic marker attached to your big toe. And just trying to draw the cleanest, biggest circle we can. Let's go back the other way. Out. In. Down. Out. In. Down. Let's go one more. In. Finish there. And switch. Calf on the yoga block. If you want to hook your leg under, you want to just throw this leg out to the side. Really what's most comfortable for you. Point the toe. In. Up. Out. Down. In. Up. Out. Down. In. Up. Out. Down. And reverse. Out. Up. In. Down. Out. Up. In. Down. Let's go one more. Lock. In. Point and squeeze. Very good. Okay, so let's go into our toes. So we can do the toes from here. Seated position is going to be a little bit easier. The less ankle flexion we have, the easier it's going to be. So this, I'm in more plantar flexion. So the more I shift forward, the harder it's going to be. So like the deep squat, it's probably the hardest place to do your toe cars from. So I'm just going to go from here. I'm going to just lift all my toes, balls of my toes down. I'm going to place all my toes on the floor, trying to keep them spread. That's technically called toe abduction. And there, balls of my toes stay down, especially the ball of my big toe. I'm going to lift, back down. Lift those big toes down. You want to try to lift them straight up. Try not to let them curl over your other toes. Try to keep straight from where they go and back down. If you're having trouble with this, you can just go 1 foot at a time. You can just here, just do your toe colors all in 1 foot, and you can switch. Next one, big toes down, 4 toes up, 4 toes down, 4 toes up, 4 toes down. Last one, 4 toes up. Keep trying to lift them and spread them. Now lift all your toes. Now we're trying to really spread my toes apart. Toe abduction again for you. And then we're going to go big toe down, big toe up, big toe down, big toe up, big toe down, big toe up. Last one, it's called a piano key. We're going to go pinky toe, 4th toe, 3rd toe, 2nd toe, big toe. Up, pinky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Last one, lift and spread, pinky toe, 4th toe, 3rd toe, 2nd toe, and big toe. Shake out those toes a little bit if you need to. Okay, from there we're going to go and do some wrist work here. We're going to do some double arm wrist extension. Goes around. You have 2 options. You can go, technically 3 options. You can go single arm wrist extension. You can go wrist extension on more closed chain position, fingers forward. What we're going to do today is we're going to go closed chain, so it's just with the hands on the floor. Wrist extension with my fingers facing into my body. So you have options. One thing we just want to make sure that we have no closing angle pinch, right? So that would be, as I go this way, I get a pinch here. We want to make sure that does not happen. So you could be here, you could be here, or here, no matter what, just make sure you don't get any pain, any pinching. If you do, find where it starts to pinch, and then we'll just come out of it just a little bit. So if you're here and it pinches all the way forward, sit back to where it doesn't pinch, and then you're just going to hang on that position, and then release your tails and rails like normal. Just trying not to go in or to or through any pain or pinching. Okay? Set yourself up. So just hands will be facing in, my fingers, and then I'm just going to lean back ever so slightly to get a stretch in my elbow, or sorry, in my forearm extensor, they're called. So that's these also on the front side of my body. Lean back, big chest. Find the stretch before there's any pain, any pinching. Definitely don't want to do anything to or through any pain. And just relax and breathe. So just like anything else in the body, the more we can relax, the lower into the stretch we can get, the better, right? So we want to try to train at a true end range here. Breathe. As you exhale, sit back. Find the stretch. You may notice you get more stretch on one side than the other. You get a little bit more on my left and my right. Make sure that your hands are even, right? If you're leaning back, if one hand's farther forward, you're gonna get more of a stretch, right? Now you're putting on more tension, right? So make sure the hands are even first and foremost. Make sure you're not leaning to one side or the other. And then if you do, just still kind of have one side more than the other, just focus on your breathing, relaxing into it. Every time you exhale, try to consciously relax those muscles. Our patel's contraction is driving the palms, not just my fingers, but palms of my floor, palms of my hand into the floor. Trying to flex my wrist, right? So flexion action into the floor. Obviously, you're not going to be able to flex through the floor, so just isolate contraction. Build up the contraction for 10, max effort for 10. Rails contraction, trying to lift my palms off the floor, so I'm trying to get more extension actively. And then if you're able to get some clearance, that's when you need to start to shift the hips back a little more, pulling you deeper into the stretch while you do rails contraction. It's a really important one to not ramp up super fast. Nice and slow here. Make sure we give our body time to build the contraction and control. Make sure there's no pain, no pinching, nothing like that. Okay? Breath in. Full body contraction, pack the air down into your lower abdomen and start driving palms of your floor, palms of your hand, into the floor at 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50, 60, keep going at 70, load those tissues and you can stretching 80, 90, and max effort drive down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rails, try to lift your palms off the floor. They shouldn't because you're at your end range. Just try to contract the top side of your forearms, so the opposite side that you're stretching. Squeeze more as you contract that side. You should feel more stretch on the front side or the bottom side of the forearms. And if you want to start to shift back just a little bit, you can. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Sit back a little bit. And come out of that nice and slow. Should feel like they're kind of dead for a second. It's totally normal. Trust me. Okay, so now we're going to go into wrist cars. Just to kind of follow up heels around. So wrist cars, we're going to go closed fist, supinated position. So my palms are up. But now my hands are closed, elbows are on my ribs, feet and shoulders, in towards the midline. Extend, that should feel interesting. Come back over, we got 3 reps. Extend, stay extended, come out. Flex, in, down, extend, up, here, and then we go back out. Extend, in, flex, 2 more. Good. Last one. And flex it. Squeeze those flexors. And flex. Very good. Okay, so there's ankles. Ankle inversion and eversion. So if you've done our knee classes with us before, you know that ankle inversion likes to come along for the ride, or I should say eversion, with tibial external rotation. So what we want to do here is to be a little bit different. I'm going to hook this hand, my right hand, opposite hand, over the front of my shin bone. So it's going to stop my tibia from rotating out. So I'm going to hold that shin bone in place, and I'm just going to, and I can also do this arm as well. I'm just going to pull this instep of my foot out. So it's going to take me into more eversion, it's called. Okay? So from there, I'm just going to hang on here. So I'm going to hold the shin in place so the shin doesn't rotate. Foot is rotating while shin stays in place. This hand comes outside the leg to stop more rotation as well. So I'm just trying to separate ankle eversion, excuse me, from tibial external rotation. We're just going to do fairly quicker pills and rails here. So we're not going to go quite as long as 2 minutes. So we'll do ankle eversion, ankle inversion, and then we'll switch sides. Finish with more ankle cars and more toe cars. Okay? So just take a breath in. Cock the ear down and then start pressing the instep of your foot into your hand while your hand is trying to pull your foot out into more eversion. And build it up, build it up, build it up, 50%, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100% effort. Hand to the foot, foot into hand, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rails, I'm trying to pull my foot away from my hand. So the hand stays here. Foot just tries to rotate away. Do not let your tibia rotate. Shins and stay facing straight ahead. That's where you take grasp on it with your right hand and then just pull away. So I'm just trying to get my foot going this way. Shin stays straight ahead. Let's keep going. 5, 4, 3. Feel all on the outside. 2, 1, and relax. Ooh, should go right here on the contraction. Big breath. Okay, so now for inversion. So that's going to be going this way, but I don't want the tibia rotating, right? So I'm going to go here. Excuse me. So I'm going to go here. So now I'm going to hold. So this leg, this arm wraps around. This leg will grab, this hand, excuse me, will grab the tibia. Same thing. Now I'm going to pull a little bit more this way. So instead of my foot will fit in. And then I'm just going to grab here, and just drive in. So my pails, I'm doing this. Rails, I'm trying to get more here. So a big contraction here, good stretch there on that rails contraction. Take a breath in. And start driving into the hand and try to pull the foot in more. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and max effort, squeeze 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try to rotate the foot away from the hand. Hand stays still. Foot tries to rotate more. So I really want to think about squeezing everything here. Feel all this stretching. You can just go there now. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Ooh. Okay, let's go through the sides. Same thing. So foot, heels on the floor. Left hand grabs right shin. Right hand, right arm keeps my leg from moving out. And I just want to rotate just my ankle. Foot rotates out. And we're going through these fairly quicker than usual, so we're not doing passive stretch per se. We're doing more. It's still pills rails, but more isometrics. So we're just kind of putting some load, some strain into those tissues. If you want, after the video is over, you can end the video, and then you can really do the same protocol, just with 2-minute stretch on each. Take a breath in. Back the ear down. Foot tries to rotate into the hand. Hand is trying to pull the foot out more. You want to be out your end range, right? So make sure you're all the way out. And now start pushing hand to foot to hand. 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100% up at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rails, rotate foot away from the hand just stays here. Just try to rotate that foot out, keep the shin in place. Nothing else is moving. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Squeeze outside ankle. All this is trying to pull foot out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Last one. Foot goes here. Hold that tibia. Rotate foot in. Frame. Make sure you're all the way inverted, so sole of the foot is in. Feel a stretch here. Take a breath in. And rotate hand into foot, foot into hand. 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50. Load it up on the outside. 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100%. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to rotate the foot away from the hand, get more inversion. Hand stays here. Just really try to squeeze the inside ankle. Get more, feel the stretch here. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so that foot back on the block. Got 2 ankle cars, and then we got toe cars, and we're done. So point the toe, go in, so feel everything, all the rotation that we just worked. Again, it wasn't quite the Pills rails because we didn't get 2-minute stretch, but we still loaded up inversion, which is here, and then eversion, which is there. So we should still feel quite a bit different in those ankle cars. We always want to think rotation before linear with our joints, right? So we always want, the better we can invert and evert our ankle, the better we're going to be able, more capacity we'll have to flex and extend. So really great place to start if ankles are an issue for you like me. One more over, and flexion, out, up, in, down, out, up, in, in. Okay, last thing, toe cars, just like we started. Sit back, lift those toes, place them down, big toes up, big toes down, big toes up, big toes down, big toes up, big toes down, 4 toes up, 4 toes down, 4 toes up, 4 toes down, 4 toes up, 4 toes down, lift and spread, big toes down, big toe up, big toes down, big toes up, big toes down, big toes up. Last one, piano key, pinky toe, 4th toe, 3rd toe, 2nd toe, big toe, spread, pinky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, last one, spread them, pinky toe, 4th toe, 3rd toe, 2nd toe, and big toe. Very good, that is it for today's roughly 25-minute focused Kinstretch class. That was really looking at less quote-unquote sexy joints of the body, right? Our toes, our ankles, our fingers, and the wrist. If you spend a lot of time on the hips and shoulders, that's great. But don't forget about the often neglected rest of the body, all the joints that we don't always think about to train quite as much. Those toe cars, they're a challenge for you. I'd recommend working on them every day. It's just something that just needs time to get better at, or for you to get better at, but it will happen with repeated practice and consistency. But again, thank you for joining me in today's 25-minute wrist, hand, finger, ankle, and toe focused Kinstretch class. It's an mouthful, and I hope to see you up there.